Low water turnout ratio in moist area in Maoist areas. Chhattisgarh is the major highlight point. Now, this fundamentally all comes under the concept of internal security. So, for this, it is very important. Nothing related to prelims, but very useful for mains, especially for internal security paper. Fine. What is this? Let's look at it. Only 3 to 4% of the voters in moist affected areas, example Bijapur, Konta, they participated in the elections. So this is a huge setback with respect to free and fair elections. First, it's a huge setback for the concept of democracy. It's a huge setback with respect to internal security of the system. This is not something new which has been there for a very long time. But somehow, due to various reasons, this effect of Maoism, effect of Naxal tendencies has not been reduced much. It should be reduced, and just like in other states, more free and fair elections should be given to the people of Chhattisgarh in some areas of Chhattisgarh, and they deserve it. So these people deserve free and fair elections. That means the effect of Maoism should reduce. So there were a lot of operations which were done. For example, previously there were operations like Operation Green Hunt. Then we have operations like Prahar. Operation Prahar was done. So please remember this with respect to your prelims, Operation Green Hunt, Operation Prahar. But otherwise, majorly for this one, participate in elections indicating the failure of political parties. So this is a failure of the political parties to address the Maoist challenge. What are the major reasons? Now when you're writing your mains answer, these are the things that you have to discuss about. So what are the major reasons? Influence of Maoists. The problem with Maoism is it is not communism but extreme form of communism. That is a major issue. Second, these Maoists, they convince the tribal people saying that we will take care of your issues. The government will not do anything. People will not do anything. We are your saviors. That itself is a flaw. So the government should be able to take this thought process out of the tribal people and let the tribal people govern themselves among themselves with respect to their own cultures and traditions, rather than getting affected and affected by the Maoist tendencies. So if the government is able to do that, then the effect of Maoism automatically reduces. So the influence of Maoist is more. Second, if they don't listen, the fear of violence, that's another problem. Now because there is violence, there will be disruption in elections. Now because there will be no elections, trust issues will come. Now till here, this is one part. Problem is with respect to logistical challenges. We do not have enough numbers, we don't have enough data to say, okay, this is happening, this is not happening. These many people are actually coming, these many people. And we don't have how many people are actually involved or sympathizers of Maoists, we have no clue. So all this data is affecting the free and fair elections. So that is what you have to understand. And the problem is limited voting time. Voting time is also, you have to come from this time to this time, otherwise the Maoists will attack. So try to come and finish the elections. So this kind of limited voting time is also affecting the voter turnout. And the problem is religion-based conversion. This is very important with respect to your mains. And of course, lack of governance. No governance, that is the issue. So please remember, what are the major reasons? Influence of Maoists, violence. If violence is there, elections will not be conducted. If elections will not be conducted, there will be no trust either on the Maoists or as well as the government. So the overall confidence of the public will reduce drastically. Another major problem is logistical challenges. and voting time is the issue, and religion based conversions is the issue, and all these things finally will lead to lack of governance, and that is a major issue. Next, so this is a very good way of clearing this problem of Maoism. They have extended the Panchayat extension to Scheduled Areas Act into tribal areas also. So once Panchayat comes into picture, you know Panchayat is fundamentally local self-governance, part of local self-governance. Panchayat will take care, people will elect their own sarpanch and they'll start doing things. So if this act is introduced into these areas or extended to these areas, what happens is local self-governance will increase. Once people start governing themselves, let's say the tribal people, let's say there are about a lakh tribal people in a particular area, and the leader, the representatives are all tribal people, they will take care of themselves. That too in their own cultures and traditions. And the insurgencies will reduce. That is the logic and the scheme behind it. So extension of Peace Act into this. Who gave the recommendation? Buria Committee. Please remember this. This is useful for your prelims. This is useful for your prelims. And this was introduced in 10 states in the year 1996. What is the coverage? Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Orissa, Rajasthan and Telangana. All these states, Peace Act has been empowered. What is the aim of it? It is to empower the tribals to govern their own affairs according to their own cultures and traditions. That is the aim of this act. Tribal people can take care of themselves. Very honestly, they are much smarter than the urban as well as the rural lot. And they are the products of the forest. And whatever knowledge they have with respect to forest, it is impeccable. No one can reach them. So fundamentally, if they are left in these areas, they can happily take care of themselves in their own cultures and traditions. So therefore, this is very good. And which ministry should take care? Ministry of Panchayati Raj institutions. This is important. So this part for prelims, these two parts for mains. I think with this slide, this is most important. Next, what are the advantages? Because of this act, there will be tribal empowerment because they are taking care of themselves. Next, once they start taking care of themselves, people will not have any problem with insurgencies or Maoist attacks and all these things because their effect will reduce. The effect of democracy takes place. And once effect of democracy takes place, what happens is the number of people, the voter turnout will obviously increase. People will happily participate in all the activities. And then the concept of tribal governance will come, and internal security will be very good because they are a part of they're not against the government, they're not against the country, they're happily taking care of themselves. So what happens is internal security issue will be solved, and finally the autonomy to the tribal people. So this will be the advantages for due to this act. So tribal empowerment, more participation, tribal governance among themselves, internal security issue will be resolved, and finally autonomy for themselves. Now, please remember these schemes. These are very useful for your prelims. First one is Special Infrastructure Scheme, SIS. Scheme is to strengthen the local police as well as intelligence. That's the part. Another scheme is Special Central Assistance. This is to provide fund to build infrastructure. And what are the other bodies which are helping to remove these insurgencies? You know, CRPF will take care, then Bastaria Battalion, Counter Terrorism National Investigation, and Enforcement Directorate, and District Reserve Guard. These are all the organizations which help in removal of Maoism and Maoist activities or insurgencies, or removal of Maoist sympathizers. So all these bodies will take care of those kind of insurgencies or people who create problem for the security internally. That is, internal security problems can be resolved using these special forces. And please remember these two schemes, SIS and Central Assistance Scheme. So the highlight scheme of this is Samadhan scheme, very important. So what is Samadhan? Very important for your prelims. S stands for smart leadership, A stands for aggressive strategy, M is motivation and training, A is actionable intelligence, D is dashboard based key result areas and performance indicators, H is for harnessing and technology, A is for action plan for each theatre, and N is for no access financing. So this is the Samadhan scheme, where Samadhan, it's an answer to all the Maoist activities and the incidents which is happening in the country. So internal security wise, this is very good. So please remember this scheme Samadhan. That's very important. If you know this, I think it should be more than sufficient for your. So please remember all these facts. Very, very useful for your mains, especially this act. You can mention this act is very, very important. This act, Panchayat Extension Act into the tribal areas. I think this is very, very useful for your mains, not much for your prelims, but for mains, this is very important. For prelims, you can remember the schemes as well as Samadhan schemes.